Hi Virgo, welcome to Stardust Astrology. This is your monthly forecast for November 2016, and this is going to apply if you have your ascendant or moon in the sign of Virgo to the biggest degree. To a lesser degree if you have Sun in Virgo, even if you have your Aruda Lagna in Virgo, in which case it is going to describe how the world around you perceives you this month. And if your Atma Karaka is in Virgo, then you are going to feel this very personally. I'm using Vedic Sidereal positions, which means that we are currently in the month of Libra, not Scorpio. Scorpio would be for those Western astrology lovers. Now, the first thing that we notice when we look at your chart is this big golden guy Jupiter in your first house, and this is a long-term transit. I'm gonna come back to that in a second, but there is a common theme for all the zodiac signs during the month of November, which is that all the planets, our inner planets, are located on one side of the Rahu-Ketu axis. And for you, Rahu and Ketu are transiting your 12th and 6th house, and all the other planets are placed from houses 1 to 5, which puts a huge emphasis on your private life this month. When we have all planets from one side of Rahu and Ketu, it points to a certain imbalance. Now, this is nothing to be feared. It just says that now is the time to put more emphasis on your private life. Forget about, let's say, going out there, being in the world, having some kind of, I don't know, huge parties, traveling a lot. This is not a time to be so visible. You are going to have much more results if you focus on the private areas of your life at the moment, okay? Now, as I said, Jupiter is in your first house, transiting the sign of Virgo. It entered Virgo on the 11th of August 2016, and he's going to stay there until the 12th of September 2017. And Jupiter generally is the planet of wisdom. This is the first signification of Jupiter. Then only after wisdom there comes luck and expansion and things like that. But why do they come when Jupiter is there? They come because you are wise at that period of time. Now, when Jupiter is in Virgo, Jupiter is going to be smart, business smart and business wise, okay guys? So I guess that some of you, especially you guys who have placements in the early degrees of Virgo, have already noticed that after almost 1 year of preparations, resting, things developing behind the scenes, finishing some projects in your life, starting from the middle of August 2016, you guys suddenly became much more productive and oriented on opportunities. Jupiter in your sign will bring those opportunities and will bring places where you can develop. Now simultaneously, Jupiter naturally rules your 4th house and your 7th house. With this kind of placement, this year is actually a good year to get married or to start a family. I will come to that in a second. Your 4th house, which is in Sagittarius, is ruled by Jupiter. And when the planet which rules your 4th house comes to your 1st house, it means that you will more easily at this time period get anything that you need to feel secure, anything that you consider as a conveniency, be it a microwave or a car or a house or apartment. All of these things that make you happy, that make some kind of foundation in your life, will tend to come to you much more easily during this year until September 2017. Why? Well, because you will be wise when it comes to making decisions about these kinds of things. At the same time, Jupiter rules Pisces, which is the opposite sign of you, which is your seventh house, which means that now partners are going to be much more attracted to you. You will be glowing, radiating, optimistic. People will think you have a good sense of humor. They will think you're business savvy, that you're productive. They will see a good opportunity in you, and they will come to you more than, let's say, in the previous year, or I don't know, several years ago. This is a good time period for that. So with both planets ruling your seventh and the fourth house coming to you, this is the time period to get married and start a family, okay? Now, I'm not saying that for all of you guys it's going to be too easy all of the time. If, for example, your moon is placed in Virgo, Jupiter transiting over Moon can actually bring a lot of stress. It does bring movement. People usually change houses when this happens, but it happens through a lot of stress. Virgo can be the sign that denotes stress anyhow, because it is connected to Mercury and our nervous system. If your Moon is in Virgo, now these movements could bring some stress to you. And these are all long-term transits. Now let's see what is happening more precisely in November. Starting from the 17th of October, Sun started transiting Libra, which is your second house. And when Sun goes into the second house, we have to focus a bit more on family issues and money issues. And with Sun in Libra, this may not be so easy, because this is the case where if you focus on family issues, you could get hurt. Your ego could suffer due to family relationships, especially if there are some issues with father going on at the moment. Also, Sun in the second house can bring a lot of money coming in, but also going out, especially going out, because you have Rahu transiting your 12th house in Leo. Sun rules Leo, and Rahu in 12th house can increase your expenses immensely. So be careful of that. Don't spend your money on some, I don't know, unsafe investments when there are no guarantees. You cannot bring it back. Rahu in the 12th house can make you believe that there is this wonderful opportunity to invest this huge amount of money into something that turns out to be totally unproductive. It doesn't bring back the results that you were hoping for. You realize that somebody crossed you, that it was an illusion, that you didn't read the, how do you say that? Didn't read the small lines, tiny lines at the end of the contract and stuff like that. So be careful about that. For some of you guys, it could bring some money in, some money from abroad. It can happen, but I think this will be a very small number of people. When Sun is in our second house, we also tend to eat more. With Jupiter in your first house, watch your waistline because you could gain weight easily at this time period. And there could also be, apart from having some struggles, ego battles with your family, there could also be some struggles with your close friends, the closest ones, the ones that you consider are as close as your family members here. Now, as we see, the second half of October wasn't so great for your pocket. Maybe it burned a hole in your pocket for a little bit. But then on the 29th, sorry, not the 29th, 30th of October, we have a new moon in this area of your life, and new moon is the time to start new developments there. So this new moon can come to the rescue, and I think it will. This is a great, great new moon to either to think about new ways of earning money, or think about new ways of saving money. Now, this new moon is conjunct Mercury, and for you guys, Mercury rules you. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and your 10th house, the house of Gemini, is ruled by Mercury, and the 10th house is your social status, public status, your career. Which means you guys tend to identify a lot with that. But that's a whole other team. Now, when the planet which rules your first house and your 10th house joins the new moon in your second house, this is a strong indication of new developments related to family issues and related to your money. This is the Jupiter in the first house in Virgo, as I said, can give a lot of opportunities for expansion. And when it is in Virgo, it expands our entrepreneurial tendencies. It can expand businesses. Jupiter, as I also said, rules your 7th house. So this could be the time when a business partner comes to you and you get to financially benefit from this partnership, especially in this time period. Jupiter is moving through a nakshatra, which is one of the constellations behind the zodiac sign of Virgo, which is called Hasta. And one of the symbols of Hasta is a handshake. So this could be the time when you shake hands with a new business partner, and that has a very beneficial influence on your savings account. This could also be the time when you decide to move house or change your career. Why? Because the nakshatra behind the zodiac sign of Libra, where this new moon is happening, is called Swati nakshatra, and Swati nakshatra supports movement and spreading information, spreading the word. If you are producing something, spreading your new product or your old product, just spreading, like, for example, the wind could spread something that is very light and easy. And with your ruler there, it can be a time of where you are a bit more tense and nervous. This can be the case, but on the other hand, aren't we usually, when we are starting new projects and thinking whether this is going to bring money or not? I think everybody is. Okay. Now, this new moon sorry, is since it is in Libra, it is ruled by Venus, and this Venus is in your 3rd house conjuncting Saturn, which to me points that people who will benefit the most from this new moon are those who are in their own businesses, not working under someone else, because people with strong house 3, and when Saturn is transiting your house 3, it shows your own efforts going after something that you want. When this is something that you have been working on in the past 2 years, because Saturn started transiting your 3rd house in November 2014, and that was the time when you placed a lot of effort into something that you wanted to pursue. Now that Venus, who rules this new moon in your second house, joins the Saturn in the third house, for all of you guys who have been putting effort in your own business, this will be the time to see the results of that. Apart from Venus, this new moon is happening in the nakshatra ruled by Rahu. And Rahu is in your 12th house. Now, when I see this new moon in your second, ruled by Rahu in the 12th, I think some of you guys might be opening secret bank accounts, or bank accounts on an island or something like Cyprus, for example, somewhere where your taxes are lower than in your country. It can also be a good month to donate something to charity if you feel like it, because Swati has this tendency to disperse. So if you want to disperse somewhere, may it be a good cause. If you are going on a trip, this could be a trip where you could spend more money than you planned, so watch for that. But it could also be a business trip which results in you gaining a new money resource. For you guys who are comedians, there are a lot of comedians in Virgo, because Hasta is a very funny nakshatra with a good sense of humor. It could be a great month to earn new money. Swati nakshatra from your second house of speech supports this. And also, if you're into some business negotiations, don't be too gloomy in your negotiations. With Saturn in the third house, the mind can become a bit gloomy. It's okay to be serious, but trust me guys, this month throwing some humor into your negotiations can help you a lot earn some money. If you are producing something, especially handmade products, this could be a good month to get money from the sales. For those of you guys who are teachers, especially yoga teachers, because the combination of Hasta and Swati can do that to a person, this is also a good month. Financially, for those of you who are translators or interpreters, those of you who are dealing with languages or our spokesperson, this is a great month. So generally it's a great month to earn from spreading, whether this is your product that you are now pushing through many sales channels, or you're earning from your speech and spreading the word through many different channels. Both are supported, and not only physically but also online. So if you're trying to sell your product online, great month to earn money. And if you are doing online interpretations or translations for foreign countries, also a great month to earn money. For those of you guys who are trying to start a family, this could be one of the months when you do that, so good luck if that's happening. And if your home lacks some electronic equipment, this is also a great month to get that equipment, buy it. So to quickly sum this new moon up, whatever you have to spread it. Be it your new product, be it something that you have to spread the word about, even if you're importing snacks from abroad and you're just gonna sell them to your local bar, do it. This is a great month to start something like that. It can start like a very unstable income because Swati is not a very stable nakshatra to begin with, but and a small income. It could be a small income, but it has this possibility to grow into something stable and structured over the time. So just spread whatever you need to spread. Right after this new moon, Mars, who has been transiting your fourth house for the past 6 weeks, is now moving to the fifth house, and I personally prefer fifth house Mars to fourth house Mars because when Mars goes to your fourth house, you can feel irritated. There is a lot of energy which just doesn't find its proper outlet, and then since Mars in the fourth house can signify a lot of emotional energy and a lot of emotional irritation, and then he is ruled by the Jupiter in the first house. This can unnerve you, or it could have been unnerving you for the past 6 weeks. Mars in the fourth can be somewhat good for a career, but from what I've seen, it's just that when you become so irritated by something, you push out and then achieve something else. But it all starts with some kind of emotional irritation. Becomes very hard to find your peace of mind. It can happen that you are walking circles around your home like crazy, Sometimes there are even things that demand your attention at home. Maybe there are people coming in and going out. Maybe they are there to repair something in your house, like handyman, or you need to put some work into the place where you're living. It is just an irritating position as far as I'm concerned. It can be good for people who are in a real estate or for people who have their own land and they're working on land. Then this is okay. You have a proper channel for this energy, but if not, this is just an irritating position. Your car can break down, then you have to take them to a mechanic. If you are a mechanic, it's a different thing. That maybe this was a period when you had more work, and when you have more work, you can earn more money and so on. Then it could be good, but otherwise, just an irritating position. Mars does not belong to the fourth house. Now, finally, on the 1st of November, he's moving to the fifth house. And in the fifth house, from dealing with home, family, cars, emotions, we now come to deal with children, speculative businesses, education, politics, sports, education. Have I already said education? It's a better outer outlet for this Martian energy. Now, Mars rules houses 3 and 8 to you guys, so it can give mixed results in the fifth house. It will be in Capricorn, so you are going to try to structure things in your fifth house, and you will be patient enough. Your energies will be directed enough to do that. This is a good, Capricorn is a good sign for Mars, but especially good for athletes, for example, because Mars is ruling this Saturn and Venus in the third house. Now, from the 9th of November, Mercury is gonna come into your third house. Mercury rules you guys. From the 16th of November, Sun is going to come to your third house. So we're gonna have 3 planets in the third house, which is going to put a huge emphasis on anything that you're going after. This is the first house of personal desire. This is the house where we pursue things that we want, regardless of what anyone else thinks about. If you're self-employed, this will be a very busy period for you. If you're an athlete, with stellium in the third and Mars in the fifth house, you will be feeling very confident and you will be energized. Great time for athletes. If you're a student and putting mental efforts into something, also great time for you guys. It can be a very productive time for people who are into some kind of speculative business, be it investing in stock markets, bonds, or investing in any kind of project where you're not certain what the results will be. You guys will be very active in this period, and you should be active in this period. Just watch out with Rahu in the 12th house when any kind of, especially foreign investments, it is possible to lose the money. So just be careful about that. If I look at your love life this month, well, I already told you that this is a good year to find a long-term partner, and that more people will be attracted to you. But maybe November is not the month when it happens. If something happens, it could be more of sudden short-term fling, maybe with someone from your neighborhood or someone that you pick up at the bar, and it all happens just, suddenly. For you guys who have children, this can bring some struggle with children. This Mars in the fifth house, it can happen. Even if it doesn't, you will be forced to invest more energy in your children than in the previous several months. For you guys who are thinking about starting a family, this could be the month to make babies. So if you want that, great, go ahead, invest your energy in romance. But if you don't want that to happen, be careful, because it could happen even with a one-night stand, okay? Now, on the 7th of November, Venus moves into your 4th house, and Venus in the 4th house is much nicer energy than Mars in the 4th house, because it will show that house becomes a pleasant environment. You like spending your time there. You feel happy when Venus comes into the 4th house. We feel happy. Maybe some women could come into the house, like family members, or I don't know, if you have friends from abroad, they could come visit. It is a good time to, I don't know, throw a mini party for your closest friends at house and so on. But what can happen with this Venus in the 4th house is that you want or need to do all of these things that I've just mentioned, but then Venus gets smashed by Saturn in the 3rd house, by Mars in the 5th house. It can mean that you do need some rest, you want to spend some time with your friends, but you're running around like crazy, so you can't afford it due to your work or due to issues with your children. If you are already married and you find yourself, running around this month, visiting bars, going out with your friends. There could be some fights at home due to this, so watch for that. It could also be that the money now has to be spent on something that you need for the house. I don't know, it can be a new kitchen table, or it can be a new bookshelf or whatever. But with this kind of position, it can happen that you have to spend money on something at home. The last influence that we have this month is a full moon on November the 14th, which falls in Aries in your 8th house. Now, if you started anything during November, anything related to the new moon that we talked about, you want to finish with the initial part before this full moon. Because new things are best started during the first 2 weeks of a new moon, when the moon is growing. Then they tend to last longer. If you start things after the new moon, the universal energies to push this are not so present. Maybe you are not even aware of that, but you are not investing that much. You don't have this long-term potential or energies necessary to push for something long-term at that time of the month. So start anything before this full moon, and this full moon is falling in your 8th house, which is the house where something can happen suddenly, unexpectedly. You don't see it coming. It can also be the house where we have to deal with emergency, and with this particular new moon, there is a possibility to cut yourself if you're working with your hands, which is very possible with Hasta, and handling sharp objects. Be careful not to cut yourself and put yourself in an emergency room, okay? With a full moon in the 8th house can also have to do with money from our business partners, shared accounts, money that we make together with our marriage partners. This new full moon, which is happening in Nakshatra of Kritika, has a tendency to split things. So you could decide, for example, to split your shared accounts, especially if you were not happy before that. With the new moon, you open a new account, let's say somewhere abroad, you don't tell anyone about it, and then with this full moon you decide to split your shared account with a business partner. In the 8th house is also the house of power. A lot of power can come through the 8th house, but this does not come easily. And okay, now I've discovered America, right? I've discovered cold water, hot water. How do you say that? People who are really powerful, and I'm not only talking about money. I mean the person with a powerful presence. We all know those kinds of people. If you ask them, their power never came easily. If you want to be a truly powerful person, what you need to do is to notice your weaknesses, acknowledge them, learn how to deal with them, although it's scary like shit, until you learn how to use them to your advantage, and then you're powerful. That's the kind of power that this full moon is going to trigger. So it can trigger, it can put you in a situation that you are afraid of. It can be something simple, you know. Some people are afraid of showing their emotions. Some people are afraid when other people show emotions to them. Some people find it very uncomfortable when a child starts crying in their vicinity. They would start panicking, that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be I don't know, a bear knocking on your door. This full moon has a tendency to illuminate something like that, and it can bring you personal power, because this nakshatra supports power, but it can be a power which comes through a struggle, and usually you have to defeat your own weakness in order to get there, or go through something uncomfortable in order to get there. It can also come through power struggles with children or your lovers if you have them. If you're into politics, this can be a huge time when you have some power struggles with your opponents, or even politicians from foreign countries. On the other hand, it can be a great time for surgeons, or people who are healers, especially healers working with their hands. Some Virgo people are great occultists, astrologers, tarot readers, psychiatrists, psychologists. For them, this is also going to be a good moon, because people who deal with such matters, they get a kind of special thrill that mainstream normal people don't have when they come across something scary. It's almost like, oh my gosh, something scary is coming. It's very frightening but very exciting at the same time. And since you've been through this process many times before, you know that there is gold waiting for you on the other side, right? So for any of you guys who are working in these fields, it can be a good time. Okay, now that's about it. All I wanted to tell you about the energies available to you in November. And the next new moon is on the 29th of November, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to happen in your 3rd house, and it's going to open a whole new cycle of developments. Most of the things related to the issues of money and family are going to be over until then. So use this month for that, because the next month is going to put your focus somewhere else. But I'm going to see you before that to discuss the how to best navigate the energies of December. Until then, have a great November. I hope you enjoyed this, found it useful, and will make the most out of it. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.